Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode of Cooking with Plant-Based Meat, the series, we are going to make a delicious, an absolutely delicious bean burger, spicy bean burger burrito. And we're going to add a bunch of different ingredients that are really going to bring out the deliciousness in this burrito. Now, the point of this entire series is to try to back some of the animal-based meat out of our diets without losing flavor. I mean, this food is delicious. And fortunately, the makers of these plant-based proteins, basically, but plant-based meats, have really gotten it down. They're making some delicious products that taste good, especially when they're mixed in with fresh ingredients. So this is just one episode of many that I'm doing. So I think you will like this. Come on, let's cook. And here are the ingredients for our spicy black bean burger burrito. The first thing we have is a spicy black bean burger. And you can use a different veggie burger if you like. But this one has some really delicious spiciness to it. And it will really stand up to the next thing we're going to use, which is about a half cup of refried beans. And I have these black bean refried beans, but regular refried beans are just as good. These just tend to be a little bit creamier and just slightly more savory, quite frankly. I really enjoy those. So we're going to take the black bean burger and cook it basically, fry it a little bit and then break it up and stir it in with our black beans. Then what we're going to do is prepare sort of a little bit of a pico de gallo topping for it to keep it fresh, give it that really fresh taste. And this can also go inside the burrito if you want. You can fold whatever you want into a burrito. So I'm going to use about a half a cup of chopped sweet onion. You can use white, red, yellow, you name it. Half a cup of this tomato diced. And we're going to use a quarter cup of cilantro all minced up. And if you can't get cilantro, you can just do the tomato and the onion. That's fine. It will still taste plenty fresh. The other thing you can use is substitute that completely with your favorite salsa. So you can also do that. This is kind of a fresher salsa substitute that I'm using in this dish. You can also have some of your favorite hot sauce on hand to heat it up a little bit. I have some cheese, optional. You can put that on top. I have some sour cream, same thing. Totally optional. And I'm going to use 2 of those medium-sized flour tortillas. And we're just going to warm that up in a little bit in a pan so that it can be folded into our burrito. So that's it. That's how we're going to do this. So let me show you how to put all this together. And let's start by making our pico de gallo. And what I'll do is just take some of this cilantro. It has been rinsed off. And I'm just going to give it a mince. You can add as much or as little as you want. You can leave it out completely. I mean, the tomato and onion still taste good together. They're friends. And so that's up to you. You could also take the tomato and onion, slice it up, add a little bit of salt and some cumin, which tastes very much like cilantro as far as spices go. You could just add a little touch of cumin to it, and you'll get a nice, tasty topping for your burrito. Let's do that. Get that out of the way. And now here comes our tomato. And the tomato, again, we're dicing it, so I'm just slicing into it. And I'm going about as deep as will yield that half cup of tomato that we want. So I cut one way, and now I'm cutting the other way in nice big squares. Okay, and then I'm just cutting down the face to dice the tomato. It's that easy. Cooking is easy, it's fun, and you might come up with a way to do this that I'm not even thinking of, but this is my favorite way to do it. And you can see, there's our tomato. That is a really uncommonly good tomato. Very beefsteaky. And I'll use the rest of that in something else. I might even make a little salad with it after I'm done. Got to keep those veggies. Got to eat those veggies. Keep it moving. And then I just take the onion, cut the core part off the end, peel it, And then again, we just want to dice it. It doesn't have to be finely minced. So I'm doing lines going straight across. And then I'm doing it this way, perpendicular. And then just cut down the face. And you can make more or less of this pico de gallo. Sometimes I'll make a bunch of this and just have it sitting around because it tastes good on chips and other dishes. And it's a great way to get your required number of vegetables in a day. It's a tasty way to do it. And you feel like you're eating, for want of a better word, you feel like you're eating fun food, that you're getting away with something, which is always great in life and really great when you're cooking because you want to treat yourself. And then we just give this a little stir. You could add some salt to it if you want, but it doesn't really need much. You could even put a squeeze of lime into it if you want. But again, I don't think it needs that. Wow. See? You have a nice burrito topping. And again, you can fold it into the burrito too, if you like. See? You just got some veggies. So I'll meet you over at the stove. And this pan has been preheating over just under medium heat. And what we're going to do is add our defrosted spicy bean burger. If yours is frozen, you can put it in the microwave for a minute just to defrost it. But this will speed it up a little bit if it's defrosted ahead of time. And I just want to get this plenty hot. And I'm going to crumble it some, and then we're going to stir the beans in and heat the whole thing up together. So let's just give this a minute to brown a little bit. And as we were talking about before, there are many different brands and types of veggie burgers that you could use in this recipe. And they're constantly changing the flavors of everything, updating them. So, check them out. Find the one that works for you. This one really works for me. And sometimes what I do with these, if I'm in a hurry, let's say I get home from running and I have a lot I want to do and I want a quick lunch, I'll take one of these, pop it in the microwave for a minute and a half, and then just throw my favorite salsa on it, or some homemade salsa or pico de gallo, and that's a lunch. And I'll have a salad on the side with it. That's one thing to keep in mind, is that these plant-based meats, it's really like a soy protein or a legume or bean protein that they're using, or chickpea flour. It's always going to be something a little bit different, but it doesn't count as a vegetable. It counts more as a kind of a protein or even a starch. So you're going to want to have some salad or some kind of veggie with that, with these dishes. So this is starting to warm up nicely. Now I'm just going to crumble it. And this is a very flavorful version of these bean burgers. It just has a very good spicy taste to it. They're not lying when they call it a spicy bean burger. So this has become my favorite. But I'm always trying new products as they're introduced. As I see them in the freezer section, I grab them and give them a try. Some are really good, and some of them aren't that great. And just be honest. Let your taste buds show you the way. Because if you like them, if you like the way they taste, you will eat them. If you don't, you're not going to eat this. So that's why I recommend to keep trying the different brands, basically, and different flavors until you find the ones that work for you. In the course of 2 months, I found a lot of delicious plant-based meats, and I am able to substitute meat out of my breakfast and lunch, especially with these. And then I'm more likely to eat just animal-based fish and chicken, beef and pork at night, because I do need a little bit of real meat in my diet. I just do. I know vegans, you don't, and you have it all figured out. I haven't yet. But this is one way that I'm trying to contribute to reducing the amount of fossil fuels that are burned, that are creating greenhouse gases and causing global warming and sea level rise and other problems. We all have to do something, and this is one thing, one of the many things we can do that contributes, is eating a more plant-based diet. And here comes our beans. Get those all heated up. And you can turn the heat down a little bit if you want. I can smell this is getting a little bit smokier than I intended. But that bean burger is nice and browned. So now we're just going to get all of this warmed up. And this is the filling for our burrito. Now, while this is warming up, what I'm going to do is put a small frying pan over medium heat, and I'm going to put the flour tortillas in that. So they'll start to warm up. When they warm up, they're more malleable. And all we want to do is warm them. We don't want to brown them, because if you brown them, they will break when you try to fold the burrito into them, the burrito mix into them. So you can see this is warming up. I know it's a little tacky, and it's not it's not the best TV, seeing me do this. But this is the point. I just need to get this mix warmed up. And as it warms up, it gets a little bit more malleable too. I could add a little water to it if I wanted, but I don't want to dilute the flavor. This is a delicious burrito mix. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to spend about 2 more minutes warming that up. And here we are. Our burrito mix is all warmed up. And then actually this spatula turned out to be an easier way to flip it, because it almost formed like a more bean-rich burger. And I think that's going to be plenty flavorful. So I'm going to move this off the heat, and then I'll go meet you over with the warm tortilla, and we'll put together the burrito. And here's our tortilla. It's warmed, not browned, so it's not going to break when I fold it. And then we just take some of our bean mix, put it on half of it, almost like a taco. There we go. And I still have enough left over for the other tortilla too. And you can taste the mix. If you think it needs a little salt, you can add it. And if you can think of other spices that you'd like to add to it, hey, more power to you. I'm showing you the basics. And then we'll just spoon in some of our pico de gallo. And then we can decide, do we want to add some of the sour cream to it? I think I will. What the heck? I got it. It's tasty. There's some sour cream. And then I had some cheese too. And you can decide, do you want some cheese in it? Okay. I'm going to sprinkle a little cheese on it. Adds a little complexity to it. And again, you can leave the sour cream and cheese out of it completely if you want. Now this, I made it kind of fuller than I should have. So getting any kind of burrito fold to this is kind of a challenge. So, but it would go something like this, and then, you know how they fold the ends? The people who make burritos fold the ends and all that. But this is stuffed. That is a stuffed burrito. And then we just add, if you want to add your favorite hot sauce to it, just add a little bit of that to the top. And we have a delicious burrito. Oh, I can't wait to eat that. I think I'm going to be a stuffed burrito after eating 2 of these. I might have to share. So congratulations, look at what you just did. You just made this absolutely delicious, spicy, plant-based bean burger burrito with a bunch of fresh ingredients that will really make it pop. Now, if you like this recipe, please go to my website, stepbystepchef.com. There you will find a printable version of this recipe, along with printable versions of over 225 other recipes. And you could just go to the site, print them. You're also going to find, now this is a bonus, you won't find this on every site. You will find a link to a YouTube video where I show you how to make every single one of those recipes the step-by-step way. Some of them are plant-based, an awful lot have animal-based meats in them, and some of them are purely vegetarian. So you have a wide variety of breakfast, lunch, and dinners to choose from. So I hope you will check that out. So again, I'm doing this series because I want to try to help us cut back on the use of fossil fuels. It takes more fossil fuels to make animal-based meat than plant-based meat. So anything we can do to reduce the number of fossil fuels burned is going to help with global warming and climate change. So this is something we can do. This is something we can all do without sacrificing flavor. So I hope you'll watch more of the videos that I am making for this series. So again, my name's Larry Richardson. I am your step-by-step chef, and I'll see you in the next episode. Mmm.